It's Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock here in the UK, so that means I am live. This is all changed again. YouTube has changed. What live chat? No, I don't understand. It's all different again. YouTube have changed live formats a couple of times recently, and every time it throws me. So I can't see anybody on at the moment. I hope I'm on the right thing. So a few months ago, you'll know that it changed it to like a portrait mode, and traditionally lives always used to be landscape mode. And then now it just looks completely different to what it used to. And there's no one watching, which is unusual because I do normally get a few people watching on the live. So I don't know. We'll crack on. And then if you watch it on the replay, say hi. Let me know you watch it on the replay. Oh, hello, Teresa. Hello. Hello. So YouTube have changed the live format again. It's so weird. It's all the setup's really weird. There's a big black section at the bottom where people's comments are. Very strange. Very strange. If you join me, if you can tell what I've been doing, I have been using wood stain. If you joined me last week on my live on my Facebook page, I may be slightly repeating myself, but I will also be covering something that I did not cover in that live because I had connection issues and I kind of just went. I didn't kind of just go. I mean, I kind of just called it a day because it kicked me off right at the end and tried to reconnect me for ages and it was weird. So I am covering No Paint Gel Stain. Again, it's on the same kind of wood that I covered on my live, but I'm hoping this might be useful because I am going to cover ways that you can top coat it as well. So these two planks of wood behind, obviously one is stained, one isn't. The box gets smaller and smaller. Yes, it's so weird. It's really weird. And also the camera looks different as well. Like obviously my phone isn't different, but when I first came live, I was like, I look weird. Maybe it's because I've got my hair up in a thing because I washed it. I treated it to its annual wash and then I've clipped it up immediately out of my face because I can't be dealing with all this in my face when I'm trying to work. No. Anyway, No Paint Gel Stain. This is obviously the stained one and this is not. And that's the end of the live. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, this is the stained one and this isn't. So on my Facebook page, I did a live last week. I've got a little built-in kind of desk made out of kind of offcuts of timber like this, raw timber, and above it are built-in shelves, which are these things here. So I've taken them all off. I've taken all my junk off because obviously my desktop is now stained and these need to match. So I had to take all the crap off and about an inch of dust off as well because I don't clean, clearly. So I'm going to show you really quickly how you can take it from this to this. So to me personally, this looks a lot warmer. It's got a lot more character. It's going to bring out all the little bits and dings and knots in the wood like here. I preferred this kind of tone. So this was always the plan for this built-in shelf thing and desk that I've got. It's just getting round to it. So it's super easy to do. So just check I've got the right colour because I have actually been using a different colour on a piece over there, which I cannot show you. Yeah, this one's the right colour. So this is Golden Ash. This is one of the newer shades that Dixie Belle released this year. They released a couple of new shades in this product, and this is one of them. And this is now actually my favourite shade because it's not too dark, it's not too warm. It's kind of just a nice mid-tone brown. It kind of works with most colours to kind of knock out any warmth or anything. So this one is called Golden Ash. And it looks like a gel, and that's why it's called No Paint Gel Stain, because it is a gel. So this is quite a unique formula in that it can be used over raw wood, but it can also be used over an existing finish. So for example, I've got a little vintage tea trolley here that's oak. It's quite dark oak, I can't turn the camera because I can't show you what's here, but I can show you the trolley. Um, what would be easiest is to just show you the drawer. So this is oak, like a little vintage tea trolley thing. If you wanted to, so I'm reading the comments as well as going. I did see your question, Teresa. Is it cold in Georgia though? Is it? Let's be honest. Is it? It's not as cold as here, I guarantee it. Although we've got sunshine today, which is quite nice, winter sun. But yesterday was a horrendous day. So this is oak, and obviously it's got a varnish on, which is probably quite old. But if you wanted to alter the colour of this, you don't have to strip it with no paint gel stain. So you can go over the top of existing finishes, is what I'm trying to say. You can use it over raw wood, which is what I'm going to do here, but you can use it over the top of existing finishes as well. So it will sit on the top of this like a paint does, instead of soaking in like a traditional stain would on raw wood. So for that reason, it's really versatile. What's the temperature in Georgia? Can you convert it to Celsius as well? Because I don't know Fahrenheit. I don't understand Fahrenheit. I've got my iPad there, so I could actually just convert it. Anyway, so for example, if you wanted to use espresso, 15, is that Fahrenheit? 30. 30 degrees. That's summer. That's peak summer here. Is that 30 degrees Celsius? Because that is actually peak summer here. No, it can't be. That can't be Celsius. So if you wanted to use a darker stain over this, say espresso, for example, which is the colour that I've been using over there, the darkest brown in this range, you could literally apply it straight over this. Now, I'd probably advise that you clean it first, because you'd probably get some kind of like polish or cleaning product that's been built up over here over the years, and it might resist the product. But essentially, you can apply it over existing finishes, which is the point I'm trying to make in a very long-winded way. So it's a versatile product because you can do it. And if you watch Melissa from the Top Drawer RVA, you will know that she uses it quite a lot to mask finishes that are kind of a bit not great. So she'll like sand it down a bit and get rid of any issues and scratch marks, and she'll go over the top of it with 2 coats of espresso and top coat it, and you don't have to strip the entire thing, is what I'm saying. -1. Okay, that's cold. Yeah, we had a frost last night. -1. It's freezing already in Michigan. We get a dusting of snow. Snow I'm jealous about. Very jealous. -7. Nice. That's proper winter though, isn't it? I don't mind it. I don't mind winter when it's icy and frosty and cold and snowy. Don't mind it. When I say winter here, we might have that for maybe like a week or two if we're lucky. Winter here is normally consists of greyness, like a bleak, grey, foggy. Meh. It's horrible. Um, Google said -5. Nice. I like it. I enjoy it. I've always wanted to go to Iceland or Lapland or somewhere where it's really, really cold. I would love that. For about a week, and then I'd want to come home again. Well, I say that if it was grey here, then I'd probably want to stay longer. But yeah, winter here, not usually the nicest. We have a lot of rain, a lot of mud, wet dog. That's not nice. Let's get on to wood staining. Talk about weather all day long. It is so interesting though, isn't it? I'm talking to you. You're across the other side of the world. You have a different climate, different temperature, different weather. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. So I'm using it on raw wood today because, like I say, these are shelves that are built into my living room. They have been very, very roughly sanded. They've been kind of aged a little bit, so we've knocked the edges off here and there. And this is one I prepared earlier. So you can see the tone difference completely changed. This is like a much warmer kind of rustic tone, and that's 1 coat white back. So you can either leave this thickly applied, to give you better coverage, or you can wipe it back to give you that kind of look. It's like I say, a very, very versatile product for a stain. Stains can be sometimes very finicky to use. Wood stains, not a massive fan, but this is really versatile. So there's loads of different ways you can use it. So I'm applying it with this. If you saw me on my live last week, you'll know that I did not apply it with one of these. I applied it with a brush, and that's fine as well. You can apply it with one of these. This is a Foam and Dandy foam brush. Any brush you can apply it with. I used a chip brush last week. You can also just wipe this in with a rag or an applicator pad. Loads of different ways, a sponge, whatever. So I'm just going to go straight in. You don't need a wood conditioner with this. A lot of stains that you work with, especially when they're not kind of this consistency, when they're like a watery stain, you have to condition the wood first. So it's an extra step, and ain't nobody got time for that. So this, you do not have to condition the wood first. You can just apply it straight on. And it doesn't go on unevenly. So the whole idea of a wood conditioner, to pre-treat the wood before you stain it, is to make sure that the stain goes on evenly, because wood can vary how it's kind of how porous it is in kind of different areas. So it allows the stain to take more evenly, basically. But like I say, because it doesn't work the same as a stain traditionally, it kind of works more as a paint, but it's an oil-based product. I'll just say that as well. So if you have some, how do you do, hemp oil or some Big Mama's butter to hand, rub that on your hands before you get messy with this stuff, and it'll stop it from sinking into your skin. I saw a Dixie Belle retailer give me that tip, and I should have probably taken that advice, because it's well and truly gone in, and my hands are so dry. They're all cracked and dry from sanding and working in, you know, washing brushes and stuff. Car wash sponges work well also. Yes, they do. They do. Sponges, you can just chuck them. Once I've done all the shelves, there's 1, 2, 3 this side, 3 this side, 2 the other side. We've got a chimney breast, and each alcove has got shelves in. So when all of the shelves are done, I will throw this away. You could clean it out. You'd need something solvent based, like white spirits or clean spirits or mineral spirits. They're called different things depending on where you are. But honestly, these are quite inexpensive. I would just throw this away. So as I said, you could leave it like this. It's equally a gorgeous tone, or you can wipe the excess off and leave it as a kind of more muted tone, more paler kind of shade. And obviously, different cuts of wood are going to take the stain ever so slightly differently. These weren't cut from the same piece of wood. They were cut from 2 different, well, it's all just off cuts of wood. So if they are slightly different in tone, it's not too much of an issue. I don't like matchy stuff anyway. But look how gorgeous that is. So you can still see all the wood grain through this piece. And you can see where the big old circular saws cut this as well. But you can see the wood grain through it. But instead of that pale kind of look, it just looks really aged. It looks like it's got way more character. And that's how easy it is. I can already tell that this piece of wood is way more porous than the other piece that I did previously. But like I say, it's not a problem. Number one, I don't care for matchy stuff anyway. My whole house is kind of eclectic and a little bit random. So matchy stuff, not really too fussed about. But if I wanted to even the tone up of these so that piece of wood matched this one, I can just go over the top of that first piece of wood behind and build it up. So once you've applied one coat, you can totally build up coverage and colour if you want to. So as well as all the browns, this product also comes in grey and white and black. So there's a whole host of different things that you can do with it. That's how quick it is. I like it better when I've wiped it back as well. It reveals more of the wood grain, and I just prefer that tone. But obviously, each to their own, and it is quite useful seeing the process because it shows you the different kind of looks that you can achieve with this. If you wanted to leave it so that it was like that, you can absolutely leave it. Your drying time is going to be a little bit longer, bearing in mind it is an oil-based product as well, so bear that in mind with drying time. So you could leave it like that. You could wipe it back to go like this. You could put 2 coats on to go even darker. And this is just one colour. The other colours are obviously going to throw different results. So if I put black on here, you would barely see any of the wood grain unless you really did wipe it back or maybe sand it a little bit. You could go for that kind of like ebonized kind of look. If you were to sand it and raise the grain slightly, you could do that. There's so many different things you can do with this stain. Yeah, Jeannie, you can use the Dixie Belle sponge. The white stain is pretty. It's really pretty. I have got it's so long ago now, the piece. I hope I can dig it out because I will share it. I'll reshare it onto my social media because it was a really nice piece actually. The wood tone was a bit orange when I stripped the wax off, and I wanted to just use this product on it. So I used a combination of white and grey, a little bit of grey for the shading and give it a whitewash look. And it was a really pretty kind of half circle console table with loads of detail. And I just used those 2 colours, no paint. And it gave a really nice effect actually. Do you have to sand it back every time you put a coat of stain? No, you don't at all. I've just put 2 coats of espresso on a mahogany desk over here that I'm working on, which I won't be able to show you for a few more weeks for a specific reason. But I've just put 2 coats of espresso over the mahogany top, and I started my first coat just before my lunch. And bearing in mind, this was going over raw wood as well on the desk. And then I left it for about an hour with the heater on and then recoated. You don't need to sand in between. You can if you want to, but sanding in between might just kind of, it might take some of the stain off, if that makes sense. It might kind of remove some of it. No, this is not Voodoo Gel Stain. So Voodoo Gel Stain is the product that I used on last week's live on here. So that is a water-based stain. This is No Pain Gel Stain, which is an oil-based stain, and it's a gel formula. So it's slightly different. And then, so you can see the difference. This is the same product, but it's a different cut of wood. And all it probably is that this is just more porous. So it's given a darker tone than this one. The desktop is more this colour, but whatever, I don't care. If I wanted to even it up, I could either sand that a bit or I could apply another coat onto this. And that would deepen that slightly. But like I say, I'm not bothered. I'm vertically challenged anyway. These shelves are way above my head, so I'm not even going to notice. I literally see the edge, the strip at the edge, this edge. I literally see that. I don't even see what colour the shelves are, so I'm not bothered. But bear that in mind. Whatever the type of wood you are staining, so different types of wood will throw different results. Different ages of wood will throw different results. And how dry a piece of wood will also throw different results. So if you've got a really dried out piece of oak versus a piece of oak that's more new, more modern, you'll probably get 2 different results. You can top coat with clear, so that's what I'm going to get onto next. And the thing that I'm top coating with, you guessed it, I don't have it to hand. Why do I do this every single week? The thing that I need is right up there as well, and there's something in front of it, so bear with. Every single time I do this, I'm okay. That was a box. Nothing bad. Oh god. Oh no. Okay. The heater nearly got kicked over. So, top coat in no paint gel stain. This is what I didn't cover on my live last week on my Facebook page, mainly because I couldn't top coat because I'd only just applied the stain on the desk. And the second reason was my connectivity was being weird. My Wi-Fi cut off right at the end of the live, and I didn't want to risk it happening again, so we cut it off. So, top coats. You can top coat no paint gel stain with any of Dixie Belle's clear coats, including Gator Hide and Terra Tough, which are kind of similar but a little bit different. So yes, you can top coat with a water-based top coat over the top of an oil-based stain. You can do that. Definitely go and catch up and watch Melissa from the Top Drawer RVA. Go and watch her videos because she does it all the time. I hate top coating, so I avoid it if I can. Also, top coating with a water-based top coat or Gator Hide is going to give you ultimate protection because it's going to act like a seal over the top of your stain. You do need to make sure that your stain is completely dry, completely, because all it'll do is, so you know when you put water over the top of something that's got oil on it and it pools, that's what happens if it's not dry enough. It's hard to say how long things take to dry because it really depends on what you've put it over the top of and how thickly you've applied it. But generally, as a rule of thumb, I would wait at least a couple of days personally to put a water-based top coat over the top of an oil-based stain. Whew, I'm so glad I had that double espresso this morning. But my little hack, and this is not something that's generally recommended, but I use it, and we can't get this in the UK anymore for shipping reasons, is how do you do hemp seed oil. So this is like actual liquid gold here. I think I've got one more bottle after this because I got some before the shipping ban came in. But it's just hemp seed oil. So if you're in the US, you're very lucky because I love this stuff. I absolutely love it. And like I say, I don't think it's something that Dixie Belle necessarily recommend, but you can do it because it's an oil and that's an oil-based product. Again, you've got to make sure it's dry because what happens when oil and oil mix is that one will start to lift the other. What I would say is if you are using no paint gel stain over the top of an existing finish, like the little drawer that I just showed you, which had varnish on, probably don't use an oil-based product over it because you are more likely to lift it. I think you're okay when you use it over raw wood like this. This is completely sanded back, no finish on it whatsoever. And because that's happened, obviously the stain has soaked into the wood grain, it dries much quicker and it doesn't sit on top of the wood as it would if you were doing it over the top of an existing finish. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour. I definitely shouldn't have got that coffee machine for Christmas and opened it so soon. Andy bought me a coffee machine for Christmas, and obviously I immediately started using it because I'm not waiting till Christmas, and the coffee is strong, and I'm not used to. I'm not used to it. Yesterday I had 4 espressos. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. What am I going to apply this with? You can apply this with pretty much anything. Pretty much anything. Don't want to use that rag because it's got stain on it. Lint-free rag, absolutely fine to apply this. Normally, I just whack it on. Can you believe Same type of wood, just one drier than the other. And look how different the tone of wood is. It's crazy. Almost like I've used two different colour stains, but I haven't. So this is how do you do hemp oil. I'm just going to wax them on and then catch it before it gets to the bottom and just rub it in. And this is exactly what I did for my desktop. So this is going to match quite nicely. And I apply it liberally because it will soak in, especially over, like I say, the raw wood. Apply it liberally. And the way hemp oil works is that it soaks in as much as it can, and then you just remove the excess. So I think with the desk, I wiped it back twice before I just left it to dry for a couple of days. Otherwise, what happens is it will dry, but it dries kind of sticky. So you do need to remove the excess. So it's a little bit like wax in that respect. If you apply wax and then don't buff the excess off, you just kind of get like a tacky finish. If you use hemp oil and don't wipe the excess off, like I say, I mean, it'll take ages to dry. It will dry, but it'll take ages. But it'll go kind of tacky and sticky. So just leave a thin coat all over the piece. I would go away, have a cup of tea, leave it for like half an hour or so, an hour, whatever, come back, get a clean rag and just rub it and then leave it, especially over raw wood. It generally soaks into raw wood quite quickly. So that's one way that you can top coat. No paint gel stain, but I would advise only over raw wood. I wouldn't do that over an existing finish because I think it would pull it off. But otherwise, if you are using it over an existing finish, I would top coat with one of Dixie Belle's clear coats or Gator Hide. They both work really, really well over no paint gel stain, which you wouldn't think because generally you say don't put water over the top of oil-based products. So if you're using like an oil-based like gilding wax, you do that last because it's oil-based and nothing water-based will sit over the top of it. So by logic, you think that it shouldn't be a water-based product sitting over the top of an oil-based stain, but you can. You can. It's been proven. People do it. I don't usually because, like I say, I don't stain a huge amount of stuff, and I don't use to top coat a huge amount of stuff. That state, I just need to open the back door. Woo! On top of the cappuccino, on top of the espressos, I've now got high from the fumes of no paint gel stain, which is a bit pongy because it is an oil-based product. So the school run's going to be exciting, isn't it? It's not Christmas yet, and you're getting Christmas gifts. I know it is a Christmas gift. I just won't have anything to open on Christmas Day because I I opened it. I wanted a coffee. It takes to how long does it take to cure? So it takes to cure the standard amount of time with most of Dixie Belle products. It is 30 days. But again, it's touch dry within usually a couple of days. But it's one of those, it's like how long is a piece of string? If you apply it really thick, it's going to take a lot longer to dry. If you are in a cold climate or particularly humid, it's going to take longer to dry than if you are in a dry, warm environment or if you've applied it really thinly. So it all depends massively. But generally, you want it to be completely dry before you put any top coat on. This one I've just put oil on. I stained that last night, so it was left overnight, and it's now 2 p.m. in the afternoon here. So it's not been 24 hours, but it's over raw wood, so you kind of get to know the tolerances of what you're working with when you've been doing it a bit. So I think I have answered all of the questions. I think that's it. So now I've got to scrub my hands. Scrubby soap. Scrubby soap, because it has essential oils in it, will get rid of oil-based products that are stuck on your hands. Engine oil, it's great for removing engine oil. Scrubby soap is. So it's going to remove this as well because, like I say, oil removes oil. But yeah, I'm staggered at those two. That just goes to show you, doesn't it, how it changes depending on the dryness and the cut of the wood. But yeah, like I say, I could build it up, but all I'm going to see is that edge and the edge on there. I'm not going to see the top of the shelf. I'm going to see the bottom though. I am going to see the bottom because I am only short. So maybe I'll build the coverage up on the bottom of one so that it matches a bit more. Like I say, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about matchy. Um, you need to get an espresso machine to get busy with all the furniture you have in your garage. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Actually, it's quite a nice one. It's quite a nice coffee machine. Um, Probably wise that I switched to decaf. Actually, scrubby soap's amazing. Have you tried the Bath and Body one yet? It's so nice. So the Bath and Body one is something that's not long really been released, if you don't know. So the original scrubby is designed to obviously clean hands and brushes and things like that. The Bath and Body one hasn't got quite as an abrasive scrubber. So it's so nice. The lavender smells stunning. All of the colours, all of the scents smell nice. I love me a citrus scent. The lavender, it actually smells like you're walking through a lavender field. I love lavender, the actual real plant. I've got it in my garden. I don't usually like things that smell of lavender because they don't normally smell like lavender. They normally smell like artificial lavender, but this has got actual lavender oil in it. It's so nice. It's so nice. So quite a lot of my family are getting that for Christmas. Um, Makes a good gift. Um, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight. I'll be scrubbing my lavender scrubby soap in the bath to get rid of my I've literally just stained the entire world in my house today. I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I may as well keep going. Um, yes, Teresa, try the lavender. Oh, I highly recommend. So there's 4 different types in the Bath and Body. There are, don't ask me the flavors off the top of my head, but 2 are lavender scented. One's lavender and aloe, and one is lavender and goat's milk. The lavender and goat's milk is on another level. The foam that it produces, it's so foamy and creamy and rich. I think I should be a salesperson for Scrubby Soap. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. It's lovely. All my kids love it. I also wash the dogs in it as well because if you follow me on social media, you know that my dogs like rolling in things that are disgusting. Um, Bella actually found a dead fish the other day and rolled in it. A dead fish. And I was picking all of this out, thinking, this dog stinks. This dog absolutely stinks. What is this? It was dead fish, rotten fish guts. So that was enjoyable. So I washed her with scrubby soap, and now she smells like a lavender plant. Um, so yeah, don't ask me how she found a dead fish. We had some flooding. The river flooded, and it left a fish, and it obviously died because it wasn't in the water when the water went back. Anyway, caffeine is bad for you. Don't drink too much of it. It's been enjoyable. Hope I haven't spoken too fast because I do feel like I have spoken a little bit fast. Anyway, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. We don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, but I know that it was Thanksgiving last week. Was it Thursday last week? So yeah, I hope you all had a really lovely Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be back next week. I'll also be back on my own Facebook page this week on Thursday at the same time. So that's 2 p.m. my time, which is 9 a.m. EST. If you can join me there, that would be awesome. If not, I'll catch you here same time next week. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye. I've just got to figure out how to turn it off because it's changed and I don't know. That one.